It's got a soul, this hero farm. It falls asleep inside my arms. We work the fields under the stars. The love is here at Gold Shop Farms. Well, city life, yeah, it had its charms, but we would dream of the fields under the stars. I fall asleep inside its arms. The love is here at Gold Shop Farms. The love is here at Gold Shop Farms.
What is going on, everybody? It's dawning on me that it's another farm meeting, and I really should probably update the intro because, yeah, we are like full on into summer mode here on the farm. Thanks for joining me tonight. My name is Morgan Gold. I'm the proprietor here at Gold Shaw Farm. And as you guys know, these are our monthly farm meetings. So every first Wednesday of the month, I try to get together with you guys, hang out, answer some questions about things that are going on here around the farm, give you a chance to ask your questions, give you some updates and some behind the scenes type of stuff that you don't typically see in our videos, and really just like get into it. And so I'm excited to be hanging out with you guys tonight. There is a lot going on here on the farm. There's a lot to talk about. I know I put out a video on YouTube on Monday that has created a lot of questions, and I'm happy to answer questions about that. You know, usually I don't like to talk about that stuff. I'm opening myself up tonight to talk about that a little bit. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to hanging out with you guys tonight. And then I can see everybody's queuing up in the chat. Holy smokes, we got a lot of folks going here. What's going on there? Rebeloso and Steve and Dawn and Renee and Ramon and wow, New Zealand, Ada. That's crazy. You're out in New Zealand. Well, I'm glad you guys are able to join us tonight. I mean, it's really cool. Yes, and Nancy Webb is commenting on the thumbnail for this video, which was a drawing of Toby dog with a friend. And just so you guys know, that's an actual illustration that's going to be in the Toby dog book. The Toby dog book is coming in September. I'm happy to tell you guys everything's on track. It's going to be a print book, a Kindle book, and an audio book. The print and Kindle books will be pretty much the same. The audio book, though, will be quite different. The print book's going to have a lot more illustrations and some cool, like, stuff like that. I'm just going to leave it at that for now. The audio book, though, is going to be, like, a produced masterpiece. Like, I'm really going for something cool. I'm working with my buddy Chris on making it, and I am super excited. It's going to be very cool. I'm not doing this because I want to make people buy two versions of the book, but I'm doing it because I think it's just so much fun. I'm a huge audiobook fan, and so I wanted to give the audiobook just as much attention as everything else. Hey, and thank you, by the way, for to our moderators tonight. I see Danny from Wicked Awesome Gardening in the chat, and she's offering some helpful advice. Just know I am usually behind in the chat. I just try to do my best to keep up, but I'm also trying to do my best to pay attention to all the questions. If you have questions, please put them in caps because it makes it easier for me to see them. But please don't put everything you write in caps. Don't abuse that because it makes it hard for me to see the questions. And I really do want to dedicate as much of the time here tonight to answering your questions as much as I can. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Hey, what's going on, Nick? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, it's been a rainy day or two, which is good. I mean, it's not great because I wanted to do stuff outside, but and it was kind of crappy doing stuff outside today because it like kept raining off and on. But at the same time, we are so dry right now, and we're only in June, and so I definitely feel like we need it. And so yeah, there we go. So there we go. Yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about. Oh, all right. I got see some more questions here. All right. So Kim, hey Morgan and Allison, how are you doing with the smoke from? You know, the smoke wasn't bad today, and I think it was because it was rainy. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Yesterday, it was so eerie when I went out to do the chores in the morning. Everything was like orange and weird colored. I actually shot a video that you'll probably see in about a week, and everything looks weird, and that's because I shot it with like all the smoke stuff. I mean, it wasn't bad. It didn't really bother me or the animals. So I don't think we got hit with it all that bad, but it was definitely a eerie kind of vibe to the air quality yesterday morning. But today was fine. I think it was just like I said because of all the rain. And for those who are wondering, yes, little barn cat is hanging out here, right here with me. So yeah, she's doing good. Oh, Sarah Schneider. Hey, where did I get the shirt that I wore in that video? It's so cool. So I think Sarah's talking about the video I put out on Monday. The shirt I was wearing was like this Godzilla treatment, like Van Gogh style. So it was like a Van Gogh Godzilla. It was really cool. I honestly, Sarah, I got it. I think I got it at TJ Maxx because I don't really go clothes shopping in many places, but I got it at TJ Maxx. It was like on the clearance rack. I got it for like I think it was like $8 or $9. It was less than $10. I am 100% certain of that. And yeah, I got it at TJ Maxx. And so that I know that's probably not helpful for anybody else who wants a similar shirt, but that's where it came from. By the way, Sarah, and I'm not sure if you're the same Sarah, but somebody recently sent me a package of chicken toys. It was like a xylophone and a chicken ladder and a couple other things. And I think it said it was the name was Sarah Schneider, so I think it's you. I actually just used that in a video I shot today talking about the weird chickens. So I know the gift was given to the Moron Brothers, but I ended up giving it to the weird chickens, and they were playing with it this morning, or at least trying to. And we do have, I'm going to tell you guys, here's a sneak preview. We have some new weird chickens here on the farm. So as you guys know, we have 2 flocks of chickens. We have our regular flock of chickens who are the egg layers and like just normal sized chickens. Then we have the weird chickens, which are, bantams, they're silkies, they're satins, they just have weird breeds. And I just recently, in the last couple of days, added a few new weird chickens into the mix. And yeah, they're pretty cool. And so stay tuned. That's going to be something that's coming. Yes, my mods, Lone Traveler, are terrific. And so if you see them out there, say hello and thank you to them, and please be kind and polite. So Danny from Wicked Awesome Gardening, Kathy from North Star Prepsteader, Rose from Wholesome Roots, Jack from the Mindful Homestead. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else in here that I'm missing right now. But yes, they are a great bunch of folks, and these would not be possible. I could not do these without the moderators, and so thank you to them. All of them have YouTube channels. If you want to go check them out, you should. They all make great YouTube videos too, and so thank you to them, and be sure to check it out. Okay, Seth asks, why did you choose Vermont for your farm? Do you think that Texas is a good place to start a farm? So we chose Vermont for a couple of reasons. One, my wife and I were both from New England, and so we wanted to move to a place where we would be relatively close to family, not crazy far, so it'd be easy for us to visit them and for them to visit us. And so since we're both from central Connecticut and now we're in Vermont, it's a couple hour drive, but it's something like, very soon I'm going to actually be doing a down and back trip in a day for a family event, and it's like not unreasonable to do something like that. And so that was part of it. We also we're looking for something, rural. The property prices at the time were pretty reasonable. They've since gotten much crazier. I think, sort of the ideology and just the vibe of Vermont kind of matched what Allison and I were looking for as well. And then also the climate. I am not a person who likes hot weather. One of the things we thought about was Virginia, because we're living in Washington, D.C. at the time. That was another place that we looked. And I just couldn't picture myself being out in the summer doing farm work. I'd much rather bundle up and deal with a harsh winter than, be dying in 100-degree weather in a summer, like as a normal course of business. We might have 1 or 2 days each year that hit 100 degrees up here. But like if I was in Virginia or if I was in Texas, like 100 degrees is not abnormal. And so I think that those were the dimensions. I think the question is, what do you want to do, Seth? And what are your goals? And what are your personal preferences? And does Texas match that? I think the step one is to identify those things. What do you want to do? What are your goals for your farm business? What are your personal goals? What are the things that you like? What are the things that you personally dislike? Like, get a good, solid, honest inventory of those things, and then start looking at different places and saying, hey, do they match that criteria? I think that's the way to go about it, honestly. All right. Okay, Sarah Henderson asks, did you do calorie cutting or carb cutting or just stop binging to lose all the... So honestly, it was a combination of things. Honestly, focusing on changing binging behavior was like the biggest thing by far. By the way, I should say that, yes, I'm going to be talking about some of this stuff tonight. And so hearing about this is not something you want to hear about, might not be the best live stream for you, but I'm doing this because I want to really honestly answer some folks' questions and really directly engage on some of this stuff. So I never have focused on calorie cutting. In the entire time that I've been doing this, I have not focused on calorie cutting. I have focused on cutting out certain types of carbohydrates, though, like sugars. Like, yes, I've like actively avoid those things. I would say I've also very much focused on getting a lot of protein. And so it's not so much not getting other things, but really focusing on like things like vegetables and meat as like the center of my diet. That's kind of where I went at it, kind of from a nutrition standpoint. And so I think it was a combination of that, changing in behavior, and then also just activity. Like, I'm a pretty active person. Like, if you look at like my Apple Watch at the end of each day, I'm clocking somewhere between 11 and 12 miles this time of year. I'm always north of 20,000 steps. Like, I'm always hitting my activity goal. Like all of that stuff, I think plays a big role as well. And so it's the combination of those things. So, yeah. Heinlein likes my... Yes, thank you. I appreciate that somebody's recognizing that. And yeah, I love that t-shirt too. Actually, my best friend, he's been one of my best friends since I was like, I don't know, 10 years old. He gave me that shirt a few years back, and I just absolutely love it. And for those who know what Heinlein's referring to, they get it. I'm not going to tell you here because I'm trying to keep this family focused. All right, let me go back to some of these other questions that I got here. Kim and Frank are asking, how is your buddy Alfred? I watched Alfred today and he's been sick. Yeah, so my buddy Alfred, yeah, he's had a couple health problems. He's doing well. He's overall though, he's just, it's a little tough. And so he's dealing with that, and he's just been pretty busy. He's actually gonna be doing some work here on the farm in the not too distant future. So you guys will see him pop up in some other videos very soon. Hey Drew, good to see you. How are you doing? I am doing well. All right. RJ asks, does Allison watch any of your videos you post? Yeah, Allison usually watches most of the videos. Not all of them, but a good chunk of them. So yes, she will definitely watch a fair amount of them. All right, let me keep going here. Hey, yes, here's another one of our wonderful, lovely moderators. Thank you, Rose, by the way. I saw your comment yesterday. I just have not had a chance to catch up. I've been so backlogged on stuff. But thank you, Rose. I really appreciate it. And yes, Rose is one of our awesome moderators as well. This is a great question, Yusuf. There's no good, honest way to do it. It's just totally a judgment call. And sometimes I think I do it well. Sometimes I do a poor job at it. There have been things I've screwed up. Let me give you an example. Like when all the drama was going on last year with Abby's breeder, I just decided, hey, let me just talk about it. And I don't know, it might have been throwing some gasoline on the fire. And so I probably wouldn't do that. I'm dealing with actually a somewhat similar situation right now that I'm not going to talk about. And I feel like I've learned that lesson, and that's why I'm not talking about it. But I don't feel like there's like a good hard rule I have. It's just, I go off my gut. I'll not try to react too quickly and at least sleep on a decision to talk about something. And then I'll go from there. That's usually how I'm going. It's probably not a great answer, but there it is. Are the pigs going to get let loose in the orchard? No, I have no plans on bringing the pigs into the permaculture orchard. I'm actually too concerned that they would damage the land too much, at least at this stage of the game. And so, no, they will stay in the woods. They will be going around the pasture area. So, like, they will be in that area, but they won't actually be going in the orchard. Oh, Gene, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, we just had a batch. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to figure out how to do a commercial break during this video tonight, live stream. And maybe I'll bring up some special guests because I have, I think, about a dozen goslings down in the mudroom right now who just hatched this morning. And I just took out of the incubator. Things have been going really well with gosling hatching this year. This has been my best year ever by far. I think the biggest changes and things that have improved it have definitely come up. Number one, what I changed is by going to the weekly hatching and not holding my eggs as long. I think that has helped things. And so that's made one big difference. I think another difference, and this is actually a key one. As I've been hatching them, I've been leaving them in the incubator longer. And so my mortality of my goslings is crazy low. Like I've only lost one gosling that actually hatched. And that was an assisted hatch who it just was too weak and never really bounced back and just I don't think it had what it needed to survive. It was actually the gosling you saw at the end of Monday's video. That one sadly passed away, like a couple hours after I let it out. But other than that, I mean, let me think. I've hatched 16, 32. I think I've hatched about 50 goslings so far, and I've lost one. And so, in terms of a mortality rate, I feel very, very good about that. And so, yeah, I think things have gone well there. And so, leaving them in the incubator, even on the insisted hatches ones, I've actually kept them back and like kept them in the incubator for like 2 days or 3 days. And what I find is if I do that, they bounce back. If I put them out there too early, they don't ever quite thrive as well. And I've had them die in the past, but no, they do so much better if I just give them extra incubator time. That's a new lesson for me. You know, Casey, Pablo has gotten plenty of treats. Don't worry, he's not getting neglected. What happened in that video, I think you're talking about the video where I had a sponsorship, which I probably shouldn't say their name or else it triggers some stuff with YouTube. But I had a sponsorship that I did, and I got a whole bunch of treats for the animals. I got something for Pablo. He wasn't around while I was shooting the video, and so I didn't give it to him till later. It was basically actually another pack of these cat treats, and so he got plenty of them. So all the cats got these. So yeah, don't worry. And yes, Lil got extra stuff, but Lil's Lil. She's the queen of the farm, kind of. All right. Okay, where can I buy your book? So yeah, let's talk about the book tonight. So a lot of you guys know we have a new book coming very, very soon. Toby Dog of Goldshaw Farm is going to be the name of the book. It's coming, and it is going to be self-published by Lillian Books. That is the publishing company. Lillian, yeah, she's the boss, like I said. And it's going to be offered exclusively through Amazon platforms. So Audible for the audio version, Kindle for the digital version, and then just, Amazon.com if you want to order a print version. That's where it's going to be available. I know some people might not love that. The problem is when you are an independent publisher or a self-publisher like I'm doing, there are so many complexities in the publishing process, and Amazon offered me some good support for what I was trying to do, and so that's why I opted to go that route. So I know that that's not going to be popular with everybody, but I think it makes the most sense for the book and getting the book in the hands of as many people as possible. And so that's what's going to happen. Pre-sale is going to open up in July, probably like mid to late July, and then it's actually going to go on sale, I believe, unless something bad happens, mid to late September. And so the pre-sale window is going to be really, really important. If you guys want to do anything to help me out when the pre-sale opens, it's share the book with your friends and family, get them to order copies, order as many copies as you feel comfortable ordering, and give them out as gifts. And the more you can order in the pre-sale, the more it's going to help us, because that actually helps within the Amazon algorithm, and it helps introduce Toby Dog's story to a whole bunch of new people. The book is it's a novel. It's written for, kids, say like 10 years old, 11, 12 years old, something like in that age range. It is all about Toby Dog's life as a puppy, going from his mother's farm, coming to our farm, finding his place on the farm, and figuring out what it takes to be a good livestock guardian dog. And that's the story. I don't know. Should I do this? Lil, should I do this? Can I show them? Yeah, all right. Lil just gave me the thumbs up. I can show you guys. We have a draft version of the cover that I'm going to share with you right now. And I'm not going to put this out anywhere else. This is just going to be a sneak preview for right now because it's still so early in the project. But if you guys are curious about the cover of the new Toby Dog book, let me share it with you right now. And this is draft, so it might change a little bit, but this is what it looks like. What do you think? Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, so like I said, it's going to be Toby Dog of Goldshaw Farm. The illustrator, Zhao is her name. She's super talented. And you can see right here, it's amazing what she's got. And yes, you see kind of some of the animals. Every animal that you see on this cover is a character from the book. You'll notice Pablo Barncat in the foreground. You'll see Lil Barncat also in the foreground. And I don't want to give the rest of them away because they're new characters that you're going to get introduced to in the book. I think you guys are going to like this. I think it's going to be so much fun, and I hope everybody enjoys it. But that's what the cover is looking like. So I'm super excited. like I said, I'm prematurely sharing it with you guys because I'm so excited about it. But yes, the book is coming. It'll be on Amazon. You will hear all about it in all of our videos. So just stay tuned and you won't miss it. Don't worry. And yes, if you can buy it during the pre-order period, it will make a huge difference for us. Oh, Sarah, it was you. That's awesome. They definitely need to. I don't know. I am running an experiment right now. I'll be watching them very closely. I've got the food set up near their toys. I actually even put some of the food on the toys this morning to try to encourage them to play with it. So we'll see. Stay tuned. Oh, is it, Nick? Yeah. All right. Yeah. You know, actually, when I went out to do chores earlier, it was still raining. I got to do some lockup of stuff later, and yeah, we'll see. So yeah, Maddie, Abby is going to start guarding the upper pasture. I'm still working on something. So here, I'll just talk about it because I mean, I'm not trying to make it a secret. What I am trying to do is, oh, thank you, Regina. I really appreciate that. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out a way to make sure that Abby doesn't wander off, to make sure that Abby, is going to be safe when she's up there. And so I've been testing out some technology things with collars that helps me track her as well as keep her from wandering off. And so I haven't gotten that set right, and I've been having some problems. And so until I'm like 99% confident with that, I'm not going to be comfortable in just putting up her overnight. And so she's actually spending a lot of her days just up there by herself with the cattle and chickens, and she's doing really well. So I don't mean to say it's not working, and she hasn't been doing it yet so far. But it's just not quite ready just yet. Oh, that's a good tip, Wendy. Yeah, so Wendy just gave everybody the tip on how to find the shirt I was wearing. It was a really cool shirt. Like I said, I got it for like $8 or $9 at TJ Maxx. So yeah, there you go. All right, I know I'm so far behind. I'm answering questions from 8:08 p.m. So just so everybody knows. All right, let's see, what other questions do I have? Diana asks, how's Toby Dog doing? Toby's doing really good. He's actually, you know what? I've actually started treating him and Abby a little bit differently, and I think that's making a big difference. I'm also, with Abby going up to the top of the pasture, I think that has actually helped as well. Actually, Toby seems like he's getting a little bit of his mojo back. It's good to see. How's Macho Man? Macho Man is doing really, really good. I actually just walked him and Joey Ramone up to the top pasture yesterday. And so both boys are now up there. And probably in about a week or two, I will introduce them to the ladies. Oh, thank you, Deanna. I really appreciate that. Thank you. By the way, guys, on YouTube tonight, we're doing a fundraiser for Vermont Food Bank. It's a really great charity. They help feed needy folks here in Vermont. You know, as times get tough, it's just a great resource for folks here. And so any support you have, I always like it for folks to throw it that way versus, try to send me money, because just by watching our videos, you're helping us. But I'd love to try to help other folks too. Okay, Stacy asks, is your new farm building done yet? Not quite, but it's getting close. So where we're at is we have pretty much all the primary carpentries done. We're just waiting on a couple of things to complete the garage bay doors. So that's what's going on there. Oh, thank you, Cameron. I appreciate that. And so that's there. Alfred's actually going to be coming very soon and putting gravel down for the floor. And then I'm waiting on getting the electrician in here to wire things up. And so those are the big things. Once that happens, the building will be done. The goal, honestly, I'm not rushing it because the electrician's not going to be able to do it till later this summer, is just to have everything kind of complete and ready to go by winter time so that we can really turn it into a usable space. Dawn asks, how long did it take to get everything going on the farm? Months, years? Oh, definitely years. And I still don't feel like we're all the way there yet. But slowly but surely, I think we're getting there. So, yeah, there you have it. Harvey asks, the pig experiment is successful. Any plans to keep one of the pigs for breeding? No. The 3 pigs that I have now are 100% going to be food by the end of the fall. if I do get pigs again, which I would say that there's probably, at least looking at it from where I'm at one right now, I would say that there's probably a very good chance that I will do pigs again. I do not have any intention of breeding anytime soon. So I would have to seriously be like, hey, I want to be into this before I get into the breeding part. And so yeah, I would say that basically, sorry, I petted Lil and then I touched my eye. I do this every time. So yeah, so that's yeah. I'm sorry, I got distracted. But yes, so I will not be breeding anytime soon. I probably will be raising pigs again, and the ones that we have here will be food. Okay. Elise asks, how many pages are in the Toby Dog book? I'm not sure what the final page count's going to be. It's probably like 160, 170 pages. It's a 20,000 word book. There's also a lot of illustrations to it. There's also, actually, all right, here's another cool thing. A forward, sort of like that introduction to a book written by somebody else, that my friend Jessica Sowards from Roots and Refuge wrote. It's just, it made me almost cry reading it. It was just so sweet. And so that's going to actually be in there. There's going to be a special map of the farm that's going to be in there. There's going to be a couple of other things as well, a little few bonuses. And so it'll be like that. It's 20,000 words though, so I'll call it 160 pages right now, but don't quote me on that. It could go up or down just a little bit either way. Jay, this is a good question. So why are your permaculture rows not as straight as one might So, well, let me explain this one. So, for those of you guys who are familiar, our permaculture orchard, which is that space that we have kind of like in the back of the farm. Here, let me see if I can bring something up. All right, see how up on the hill? Oop, hold on, let me go back. Okay, see how on the top of the screen there's those weird dark lines? Those are all rows of trees. And that's our permaculture orchard. There's chestnuts, apple, mulberry, black locust, some walnut. I've even got some pine and birch mixed in there now. Like, I'm actually trying to diversify the trees in there. That's actually one of the things I've been doing more and more of. You'll notice, though, that they're not straight lines. They're on these curves. That's because they're done on what's known as contour, where I went through and found the level point across the side of the hill so that water would sit evenly in that point. So when we dug the swales and when we dug the berms, we did them all on contour. That way, like, everything kind of levels out, and when it catches water, the water doesn't run in one direction or the other. It just sort of sits there and collects up. And so because it's done on contour, it's not straight. But if I were to do this over again and really focus on what would I need to do to start an orchard now, knowing what I know now, I would actually say that I am not going to be doing that anytime soon. But if I were to start over again, I would actually do them in straight lines. I would do it where they were straight lines, where the mowing would be really easy and it'd be easy to manage. It'd be easy to run a fence line if I had cattle or something like that. Versus I feel like while the keyline design is great and doing things on contour is great, it's really hard to manage. It takes a lot more work to manage. And so I would not do it the same way again. And so if you're out there thinking about doing something like this, Jay, my recommendation would be to go into straight line. But that's why I did not do the straight line. Mixtape asked, "What's Toby's cut of the book's profits?" I don't know. I should probably talk to his agent. That's worth a conversation. You know, Beaver, I saw that today. Yeah, you know what? Somebody should get that name pretty. You know what? I know who's getting that name. I got to run it by Allison because she actually has the responsibility for naming the weird chickens. But I think I have an idea of somebody who could be named the Iron Sheik. Yeah, I always got a kick out of him. I thought he was hysterical. It's a shame. R.I.P. Bud. Okay, RJ asks, with the new building in place, where will the garden be? Garden's in the same spot. And hold on, let me see if I can bring something up to show you guys. Yeah, right now the garden's going to be in the same exact spot that it has been in years past. I was actually supposed to, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, there's somebody's doing a burn. Okay, whoop. All right, here we're coming up to the farm right now. So you'll notice like the garden will be just behind the building. The building is to the east of our garden, so in terms of shadows, it's not a big issue. And so we still have full sun with the garden, and so yeah, there won't be any changes there, at least not for this year. I was supposed to have a spring project where I redid Allison's garden fence, but we pushed it off for the time being. So yeah. What do you think of chicken tractors? I think for certain situations, chicken tractors are perfect. Because I'm not really raising chickens for meat right now, I'm not using chicken tractors. Uh, I would say that it's like one of those things where I'm, still trying to figure out other ways to manage them. They can sometimes be a little bit of a hassle. If you have like sloping ground like we do, they can be kind of hard to manage too. I prefer to free range, and we have the livestock guardian dogs, which makes that possible. But I also don't knock chicken tractors at all. I think, and if you want to know my favorite design for a chicken tractor, it's definitely the John Siskovich stress-free chicken tractor. Yes, Nicholas. If you put your questions in all caps, it just makes it so much easier for me to pick it out. Yes, Kata. My internet is that bad. I live in the middle of nowhere. Rural internet is not great. It's this is what I got. Sorry. Okay, let me keep going here. I'm like still at 8:13 and it's like 8:32, so I know I'm so behind. All right. Yeah, Raymond, the baby geese are great. And in fact, I have right now three age groups of baby geese all together. Like the youngest ones are about 8 days old, the oldest ones are about 3.5 weeks old, and they're all living together. The batch that just hatched, I will keep them in the house probably till they're about 4 days old, and then I'm going to mix them in with everybody else. And I'm finding that that's going to be all the same. Hey, Piper Lily! Good to see you, and it's in Debbie, right? I'm trying to. I think it's Debbie. I always love Piper Lily. I think it's such a catchy name. Does Abby have shelter out in the upper pasture now that she's protecting the cattle? So I do have a mobile doghouse that I've built. It's actually the same exact thing as the pigloo. So what the pigs have, which is like a IBC 250-gallon tote with just like a giant hole cut out of it and then straw put in it, and then I have it sitting on a pallet. That's Abby's doghouse, and so I haven't put it up there yet because she's not spending the nights up there yet. But that will be her house. She actually really liked the igloo or the pigloo when she was using it as a doghouse, and so I just decided to keep it simple and give her one of those as well. I can get them really cheap around here, and just they have typically they have like soybean oil or something, vegetable oil of some sort, or glycerin or nothing toxic, but just like something that you want to just wash out, and so you just wash them out, cut a hole in it, and that's all you need to do. All right, let's see what else. People are asking about the smoke again. Yeah, so the smoke has not been bad, Diana. I mean, it's like I said, things have been things were a little bit weird yesterday, but yeah, like today it was rainy, so that kept the smoke away. Nick, who's over in the Burlington area, I think, he was just saying that it's coming back now that the rain's dissipating. So it'll be interesting to see what things look like tomorrow. Okay, if you won't answer me, can anybody answer me? Where is Abby Dog? Abby Dog's outside. She's right now she's just actually down in the lower pasture. She and Toby Dog are both there. All the birds are in the permaculture orchard. I should say all the adult ducks and geese are in the permaculture orchard. The adult chickens are now actually on the upper pasture with the cattle. The weird chickens are in the lower pasture in their own little section. The goslings are in the brooder. So yeah, everybody's accounted for. Don't worry, Abby's around. She's chilling. She's doing good. So I will end up having probably 5 hatches this year of goslings, and then I'll probably have 1 or 2 chicken hatches. So that's where I'm at. Like I said, I want to say it's like 50. So I had 16, 15. Yeah, just shy of 60. Like I think 59 or something have hatched so far, and I have one more batch up in the incubator right now. So I'll have one more goose hatch after the ones that just hatched today. Hey, what's happening, Texas Roast? Zog, I pick them. That's why I asked for the questions in caps, because I'm talking to you guys and scrolling and reading questions at the same time. I'm just doing my best to keep up here, buddy. So also please, give me some grace. What do you see yourself doing to keep the content fresh, say in 5 to 10? That's a great question, Grace. I mean, honestly, I think kind of sort of what I've been doing. Like, I know some people have disliked that I do certain videos, like the farm crime videos, right? I have fun with those, and so that keeps it interesting for me, and I hope that for some of you it keeps it interesting as well. And so I think, just focusing on telling stories, whether they be about things directly on the farm or things adjacent to the farm, is what I want to just keep doing, I don't know, heck, for the rest of my life. And I think the way I keep it interesting and fresh is I change the way I tell the story. I might experiment with, like, for example, sometimes I'll experiment with like a 360 camera, and when I use a new tool like that, it helps me tell a story in a different way. I think that's one way to change it, changing the format of the video, changing the focus of the video, changing the style of the video, changing the topic. Like, all of those things are variables that you can play with. And so honestly, my opinion is to kind of keep playing with it that way. Diane asks, what happened to the podcast? Honestly, Diane, and I know it's out there still, but I just kind of leave it as is. I've just been so busy with everything else that I do, between YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, either writing the book, like, running the farm, like, all of that stuff just takes time. And I was getting to a point where I had to, like, decide on something that I didn't pursue. And I was not nearly as passionate as the podcast as I am about making videos. Honestly, it wasn't as successful either, and so that kind of helped as well in terms of making that decision. And so I just deprioritized it so I wouldn't burn myself out and overwhelm myself. Maybe someday I'll pick it back up again. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But sometimes in life you got to come to terms with the fact that you can't do everything, and you can't do all the things all at once. And to do the things that you really want to do, you need to give certain priorities. And so basically the podcast wasn't one of them. And so for those folks who like them and miss them, I get it. And I appreciate that. And I love you guys for enjoying them. But at the same time, I just had to make a trade-off, and something had to give it at a certain point. Okay, let me keep going here. When will the Abby dog auction take place? There's no Abby dog auction. I'm not selling Abby. Abby's not going anywhere. I don't know. I'm confused by that question. Yeah, so Jesse, and I put out a video on Monday, like, if you want the full nitty gritty of it all. Yes, I put out a video on Monday talking about the fact that, yes, I've been dealing with an eating disorder. So over the last couple of years, most of my life I've been dealing with the eating disorder. The last year I've been really trying to treat their eating disorder. And so a lot of my weight loss is actually getting a lot of that stuff under control. Not beaten, but I think I've got it more in control than it was. And, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, and that's where it's coming from. Would you like? That Pigeon Boy, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, if you want to talk, I'd always be interested. I think it would actually make for a good animated film. It's got a good story structure. There's 3 acts to it, yada yada yada, all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, shoot me an email. I'd be curious. Yeah, links. Yes, thank you, Links Acres. Yes, as I was making my list of things that have made a difference, which is why our hatching has been very successful this year, I think switching to a model where I have the incubators, like a separate incubator for lockdown, I think has made a big difference in that I'm able to help some hatches that have struggled. And so I probably saved, I don't know, 8 or 9 goslings this year that would have died in the previous way that I hatched because of the switch in incubators for lockdown. And so, yes, I do think that made a big difference as well. Guys, by the time hatching season's all over, I will make a whole video breaking down all my lessons, around that. Yes, Danny's 100% right. I have a very strong no goat policy here on the farm. I think you could easily see sheep here on this farm. I think it would be darn near impossible, sorry, for me to uh, have something there. Whatever happened with the fundraiser that you and Patera started? Oh, okay, all right, John. All right, I'll talk about this one. How do I go into this one? So for some background, so I made a video, I don't know, I guess it was back in October or November last year, where I was criticizing certain homesteading YouTubers because they were going down this kind of doom and gloom prepper mindset thing. And when I did that, one of the folks that I criticized was Patera from Appalachian Life, or I don't know, Patera's Appalachia. It's something like that. And so she made a video basically not calling me by name, but criticizing me for criticizing her, and then saying, "Hey, I want to see homesteaders, don't just criticize people. We should be making a difference." And so, I basically actually went and just took $5,000 of my money and made a donation to a food bank in her area in Tennessee. And then I also started my own fundraiser where we ended up raising like $10,000 for Feeding America, which, really is thanks to all of you guys. And I never heard back from her. It was actually kind of weird. I felt awkward. Like, I was like, "Hey, I've just made this in your name." And nope, no thank you, nothing. Just radio silence, which is kind of weird. But yeah, so I ran my campaign. Gosh, it was, yeah, like I said, we hit the $10,000 goal, and it was kind of cool. And thank you to everybody who helped support it. But yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know if that's a satisfying answer, John, but that's the honest answer. Do you want another dog? Maybe someday. I think a lot of people ask me about like getting more dogs and getting herding dogs. I'm not rushing into it just yet. I still, like I said, I'm still working with Abby technically. I mean, I think she's gotten so much better in the last year, but like, yeah, she's still got a little ways to go. And I have no interest in trying to take on another dog because I see taking on a dog as a massive responsibility. And I'm just not at the point where I really want to or need to right now. Do I ever get a herding dog someday? Maybe. Do I ever get another livestock guardian dog that I could breed with Toby? Maybe. But I'm not rushing to do any of those things right now. I'm just trying to take good care of the animals that I got. Which I know for viewers can sometimes be frustrating because people get bored. Like, I think sometimes people watch our videos and like are hoping for the novelty of the next animal and the next animal. But I think that's a very dangerous treadmill to be on. And, I see other folks, particularly folks who are on like social media, who make videos where they're constantly feeling like, hey, I have to one up myself in terms of the animals I'm introducing. And I just don't think that's healthy for you as the person, nor for your animals. And so I'm very cautious about that. And so you won't see me rushing to get any animal, in particular dog, anytime soon. Oh, thank you, Luke. I really appreciate that. I know, Zog. I sometimes get a little. That's sometimes, honestly, that's one of the things that with these that burn me out just a little bit is like when I get the same question over and over and over again, where I feel like I answered that last month or I answered in that video. I try to do my best, but you got to recognize too, not everybody's going to see every video, and so the best I can do is just keep people informed on that. All right, let me answer this one because I actually seen it pop up in a couple different ways, shapes, and forms tonight. So no new news on the white cow, and I'm just gonna leave it at that for right now. You guys got to just respect that. So just please, just no new news there. To the second part of your question, no, I would never shave down the horns. So there is a process where with like goats and cattle, you could like when they're just being born, you can like burn their horn buds and that will prevent their horns from growing. It's called disbudding. But I actually think, number one, it's very, very painful for the animal, and I actually don't think it's humane. And particularly for Highland cattle, that's a breed of cattle that has evolved with its horns as a key characteristic of its breed. I've seen my cattle use them so many times. They use their horns for communication amongst their herd. They use the horn for, just navigating the world and managing things. And so I would feel awful if I took that away from them. if you have a breed of cattle that is polled or horned, um, you just need to be able to be good with it. It's one of those things too. I think for a lot of folks who aren't working with cattle with horns like our Highlands on a regular basis, it's something that's like terrifying for people. So I know it was one of the things that actually scared me initially too. But what I found is it's not that bad. They're actually very careful with their own horns, and just as long as you know to respect it and be watchful for it, you're gonna be okay. You just can't be stupid. And so yeah, like that would be the biggest thing I would say. And but I have no interest of ever trying to cut off my cattle's horns, preventing the horns of a young calf from growing. No, no, I actually think that that's wrong, and I will not be doing that anytime soon. Okay. All right. I'm jumping ahead here, and I know I'm going to blow past a bunch of questions. I apologize, guys. I'm just doing my best. Um, you know what? So and Tara, I will definitely be camping out with Abby and making a video about it at some point in this summer. 100% guaranteed. I mean, honestly, Marjorie, yeah. Like, here's the reality: I get tired less. I feel like I have more energy. It's just, it's a fact that not having as much weight that you're carrying makes that much easier to do. And so yes, it does keep you leaner, makes it easier to do farm work. There's just my capacity, my endurance, everything about it. I'm just doing more work this year than I ever have, and keeping up, and I'm not feeling physically drained by it either. How do you like the chicken omelet? Are you talking about like the food, or are you talking about the coop that we have? So, if it's the food, I love omelets. I eat an omelet a day pretty much. Like my lunch is pretty much always either scrambled, some sort of like egg scramble with like vegetables and eggs and cheese. Like that's like pretty much my go-to. Sometimes I'll do it as an omelet. Most of the time I'll just do it as a scramble because I'm lazy and I just want to get something made and eaten quick. But that's like what I eat, I would say 6 days a week. Um, and so I do like chicken omelets. I guess is the answer to your question, or chicken scrambles, I guess is more accurate. If you're asking about the weird chicken house, which is manufactured by a company called Omelet, um, I actually like it a lot. I've found it to be great. I've cleaned it now twice, and it took me, I don't know, 10 minutes. It's way easier to clean than any other coop I've ever had. The chickens seem to like it. It seems like it's been I think it's been easy to like just move around. Like it houses plenty of chickens. Yeah, I'm a fan. I think my biggest concern with it is, particularly with my weird chickens, if they start hatching out chicks, will the chicks be able to get up or down, or do I need to figure out like a temporary accommodation for chicks? I think that's my biggest concern with it. But otherwise, I love it. I think it's been great. What is your strategy to not binge? What do you do? This is an important question, Sarah. So for me, so much of it was really getting into the root emotion of what's making me want to do that. Am I eating because I'm hungry? Am I eating because I'm stressed? Am I eating because I'm angry or sad or worried or just feeling like I need something to make me feel happy? Like getting to the bottom of that honestly was like the most important thing. Like once I started to get into understanding and being able to identify those emotions, I was really able to sort of disrupt the habit chain that kind of happens. So it's like, all right, like, how do I explain this? Like, okay, so the stimuli is like, I'm stressed out because I'm having a disagreement with somebody and fighting about something, and I'm just now done with that, and I'm just like, I'm feeling stressed and I'm upset and I want something to make me feel better. Oh, I know, I'll eat this thing because it'll make me feel better. And so if I am identifying the fact that it's a response to that emotion, then I can actually be more in touch and say, well, do I really need that? Is that going to actually make me happier? Is that going to actually make it? And like I can actually have that conversation with myself. And I started doing it with like journaling and writing, but I actually do it now more so. I mean, I do a lot more regular journaling and writing just in general as part of my day. But I also, though, on top of that, like I can do this kind of exercise in my head very regularly just whenever I have kind of an urge like that. And most of the time, not always, but most of the time, it helps me keep things in check. And so honestly, that's at the core of it. I don't know. I think sometimes people like think like, oh, you need to have like a magical thing, like, oh, tie a string around your finger, or I don't know, like have like a replacement food that you eat instead. And I actually have, I've tried those types of things before too, but I in my personal experience, understanding the root emotion that's the trigger has been the most important thing. Now, I don't mean to minimize that. I don't mean to say, hey guys, it's that easy. You should just be able to handle it and do it, because there's a lot more crap that goes into it than that. But for me personally, that was an important like aha moment that helps so many other further things down the road. So I don't know. Hopefully I can help you with that answer, Sarah. Yeah, Pablo's actually doing really good these days. I actually I got him to lose a little bit of weight. And he's his bladders here, kidney stones are actually fine. His heart murmur isn't really anything we can treat, but he seems like he's fine. And lots of cats have heart murmurs. And so yeah, no, he's doing really good. Well, Jonathan, actually, Justin is no longer with the farm. So, Justin Finch Fletchley, who was like kind of our initial lead gander, he he actually I retired him about 2 years ago, just so I could make sure I have fresh genetics and prevent like too much inbreeding and get enough uh what am I saying? Like just get enough diversity in my genetics, and so he's no longer around. Sorry. All right, not sure if you read Facebook, Hunt, but I'm here from Maine and think you're doing great. Like for real, putting yourself kind of makes me feel like you need to let everyone know you rock. But remember your private life's your private life. But oh well, thank you, Melanie. I really appreciate those kind words. Thank you. Antonio, that's a great question. I haven't decided yet. Some people have recommended that I do it just because it makes it an easier way to control them. I'm wondering if I need to or not. I'm actually taking advice from the folks I bought him from too, and so I haven't made a decision yet, but it is something I'm considering. But I have very, very mixed feelings about it, and I'd love to not do it and get away with it if I can. But I don't know. I don't want to take too big a risk, so I have not made a decision yet. Um, would you recommend yaks or cows for those that are new to farming? All right, so I've never worked with yaks, so I've never worked with yaks, so I have actually never. Sorry, Alice. I just heard Allison walk in the door, so I'm like, oh, and Lil just heard her too. You can actually see Lil perk up. That's just because Allison came home. So I've never worked with yaks, so I do not feel qualified to answer on yaks. As far as cattle, if you are new to farming and you've never worked with livestock before, I would not recommend cattle as your first thing. I think poultry is the best thing to start off with if you've never worked with like if you've never worked with animals like that. And so just because they're easier to manage, there's less of a learning curve, they're less dangerous, they have less complexity to them. That would be where I'd recommend you start off, honestly. But then from there, I think, cattle are actually easier than some people think. Like I think they wouldn't be bad eventually, but I would not make them your first. That's really how I would say it. Father's Day, Sticky Skies, Father's Day. Hey, Newport in the house. Chestnuts are coming along. I'm actually running behind a week. I was supposed to unearth the chestnuts this week. I don't think I'm going to get to it until next week, but otherwise they're good. And Sam, I wanted to go up to Newport. I got to go visit some friends up there that way. But yeah, I love Newport. Ooh, well maybe kayak. Just maybe. Stay tuned. I need a llama. I don't know about that, Adrian. Yes, as Bruce says, that is true. 1 in 5 folks here in Vermont are food insecure, and so that's where Vermont Food Bank does some really good work. All right, I feel like I have to make this disclaimer every live stream these days. So back on April 1st, I put out a video where I said that my entire farm was fake and it was all shot on a soundstage and a green screen, and that was just a joke, just an April Fool's prank. And yes, I think I did a pretty good convincing job of it, and maybe I did too good a job because yeah, a lot of people got concerned about it. I lost more subscribers on that video than any other thing I've ever done. And I think it was just because people like believed it. Like, no, it was just a joke, just a joke. Do you ever think of raising deer? No, I don't think I'd ever raise deer for meat, but I do go hunting, and I do hope to, catch a deer at the end of the year for meat. And so that is definitely my hope. Don't put a map of the farm. Why would I? I mean, look, for folks who bought our calendar this year, you actually got a map of the farm. So I'm not like secretive. I'm not gonna like give you directions to the farm. Notice that's the difference. I'm just gonna draw. I've drawn pictures of just here's what our farm looks like, and that's what it is. So yeah, there you go. All right, I'm gonna keep skipping ahead here just because I want to try to keep up with the chat, and it's like 9 o'clock and I'm not even at 8:30 yet. See? Yes, Allison. Allison's not going to be doing a Three Sisters garden this year, but she will. She'll probably give a garden tour in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, there will be a garden tour video very soon. So yeah. Oh, all right, Allison. Here's a book recommendation. I just read Demon Copperfield by Barbara Kingsolver. I really enjoyed it. So Demon Copperfield is like it's a book that's like a story about this kid and guy growing up in like Western Virginia, like Appalachia, and it's really well done. It's like almost like a modern retelling of David Copperfield, Demon Copperhead, David Copperfield. You see like that kind of parallel, and so there's a lot of similarities. But it's like set in it's funny, like the character seems like a couple years younger than I am because it's set just like, I don't know, 20 years back, and I just identify with it a lot, and I thought it was really well done and I enjoyed it. And so if you're looking for a book recommendation, Demon Copperfield was the last good book that I just read. Um, no, I never really considered it as that. Like, there's a lot of these weight loss drugs now on the market that do. I don't even exactly sure. I didn't because it was like, again, I was recognizing that at the root of some of my weight problems were some real deep seated addiction, emotion, dopamine issues, and yes, using something like that could help me, and I know it's helped a lot of other people. So I'm not knocking it because I think it's bad, but I knew that I wouldn't be addressing my root cause, and that's what motivated me really to want to work on my root cause. So that's the difference. Yeah. I don't think so, Anna. Actually, it's funny though. I have noticed there is this one chipmunk that's always hanging out by the pigs and eating like the leftovers from the pigs. I'm just waiting for the day that one of the pigs like gets a hold of the chipmunk. But no, I don't have any intentions of um, doing anything like that. Oh no, I have no intention of processing Macho Man. Macho Man is intended to be a long-term resident here on our farm. My strategy for how I'm going to be expanding my herd is actually I'm going to be bringing heifers in and bringing cows into the farm and breeding them with Macho Man, and then I'll probably actually be selling cows and heifers myself. And so I want to keep Macho Man on the farm for many years to come. And then probably even by the time I'm like, okay, I probably should move on from him. By that point, I will probably sell him because my hope is I have a really great, well-trained bull with good genetics and a good track record. So I have no intention of ever processing Macho Man. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if he's like 20 years old, maybe then I would do it. But like at this point, no. Thanks, Doug. I appreciate that. I have no intention of adding pigs. I'm sorry. I have no intention of adding any more animals this year. Other than maybe adding a few more cattle over the course of this year. I think that would be the biggest. But yeah, I don't have any interest in adding new animals, different animals. Next year, even, I'm not sure if I'm going to add anything new or different. I don't know. Maybe next year's the year I get into turkeys. I haven't made any decisions yet. I think the thing, and I'll throw this out here. The thing that I keep thinking about, probably most about adding from an animal perspective, is adding a dairy cow. So like maybe a Jersey cow and adding her into the mix and having her for milk, and that's the one thing that I would throw out there that I consider. But then I always think about how much work it would be and how Allison can't even drink cow's milk because she's allergic, and so I don't know. Yeah. Hey, Hillside Homesteading, good to see you. I hope you guys are doing well. We should catch up sometime. I hope things are going better for you. Good to see you. How are the pigs doing? The pigs are doing good. Like I said, actually, just before I came on here and I was doing the evening chores, I just dumped a whole huge bucket of brewer's grains for them, and they're doing really well. So yeah, pigs are doing good. And what did I do in DC? So for my entire career, pretty much, since I was 24 to 41, I guess is when I quit my day job. So from 24 to 41, I was working in the financial services industry, whether it be at insurance companies or investment companies. When I was in DC, it was an investment company. It was a mutual fund, an ETF company. And I was doing marketing, and I was actually their chief marketing officer when I was down there at that point in my career. But yeah, I've always been just kind of marketing and financial services world. All right, I'm continuing to go here. Let's see. So no, I won't be selling Joey this year, nor will I be processing him. Joey will probably end up at the processor next summer. But no, he's got a whole year here on the farm doing his thing and living his best life. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, Chrissy. Yeah, turkeys could be something I add. That would be if I was like ranking animals of likelihood of ending up here. Turkeys might be number one. I think turkeys, dairy cattle, or sheep. Those are like the three most likely. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to probably do another recording of a Farm Crimes next week. I'm working on the research part of it now. The reason I don't do more of them, in case anybody's wondering too, they take more work than any other video I make. The amount of research I put into it is like hours of just researching and reading and studying stuff. And so it just takes a lot of work to get ready for each of those. The next one I'm going to do is probably going to be talking about, getting sued for... for stealing seeds, and I'll explain that later. But yeah, it'll be an interesting story. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Texas roast. I think I have 32 eggs up in the incubator. Those are the last 32 for the year. I actually don't think I've gotten a goose egg in the last week. And so I'm pretty much done with hatching season for the year. Yeah, okay, if anybody's wondering if I can ship. So actually, probably by the time the next farm meeting happens, and maybe I'll actually make it go live during the next farm meeting, I'll be putting frozen goose up for sale. The way this works is our goose sale. This is actually one of the few times you can come visit the farm, number one. But what's happening is every year I harvest my geese in the fall, and then I have a couple of weekends where people can come up to the farm. They can visit, they can say hi, we can chat, you can even see some of the animals. They can't go everywhere, but I'll show you certain spots. And I do the whole goose sale that weekend from here on the farm. And so what happens is you put a deposit down for the goose, then you come up to the farm, and then you pay the remainder. Because we are in Vermont, the law says that we can process up to 999 birds here on the farm, whether it be duck, goose, chicken, turkey. And if we sell them from the farm or at a farmer's market, we can legally do that, up to 99 per year. And so what I do is I'll take a deposit that you can buy online, but then you have to physically come here to Peacham, Vermont, and pick up the goose and pay the remainder of your balance, and you get your bird. So for some people that's great. If you live in the area, that's very easy. If it's a little bit of a drive, it kind of sucks, but the upside is you get to hang out, you get to visit. Yeah, who knows? Maybe you get to have like Ginny Barncat run up to you because she likes to greet all of our guests. And so like that's the upside. And so probably, you know what? Let me make it a goal to have the goose sale open by the time we have the next farm meeting, so that you guys who come to these farm meetings have the chance to go check it out. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably do the next farm or second. Sorry, I'm looking at lots of farm crime comments right now. I'll probably do the next barn progress video in a couple of weeks. And yes, it'll actually end up featuring more Alfred too. How are you doing for such? I don't know. I think I'm doing okay. This is definitely the busy time of year. This is definitely the time of year I get the least amount of sleep. Where I'll probably I'm gonna actually I should be wrapping this up pretty soon. But oh man, I'm sorry. I get so distracted by these chats sometimes. Yeah, like I'm up till 10, get up at like 4:35, and just I keep going. But I'm having so much fun right now, you guys. I actually got to emphasize this. Like, I don't know. I feel like in years past I would get kind of burnt out. Right now, it's just like go, 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 but I'm enjoying it. I'm excited about, everything related to the book. Like, I'm excited to be like showing this off to you guys. I'm excited about recording the audiobook. I'm excited about, kind of all the things going on here around the farm. And so I'm just having so much fun that for me, the busyness is fine because I'm having that much fun. Yeah, you know what? All right. Tomorrow, Jay. Tomorrow I'm gonna be putting the collar on the cats, and we'll get a cat cam video up there very soon. I won't be putting it on Pablo. Pablo doesn't like it. Ginny loves it. Molly likes it. Pablo really doesn't like wearing the collar, so I don't like to make my animals do it. Like both Toby Dog and Pablo hate wearing cameras. Abby Dog loves wearing a camera. Molly likes wearing the camera. Ginny loves wearing the camera, and so I'm happy to do it to an animal that likes it. I don't want to make like the dog or cat do it. Like a goose, I'll do it just because they're a goose, and they don't like anything. But like when it comes to the dogs and cats, I want to really respect their wishes. I see them as my coworkers, and I wouldn't want to do something rude to my coworkers. Oh, thank you, Jerica. ADHD doesn't allow for anything but reinvention. That's 100% true. That's how I'm going to keep it fresh. That's like where ADHD is a superpower. 100% correct. I have tried, Brandon, to put camera on the pig. I actually had a whole idea for a video of like GoPro on a camera on a pig. And it was going to be right after I moved the pigs into the woods. I was going to put a GoPro on and get a video of them just exploring and hanging out. But unfortunately, none of them would tolerate it. I couldn't even get it strapped on. And so it just didn't work. And so, yeah, you won't see any GoPro pig videos, at least not with this batch of pigs. Thanks, Doug. I appreciate that. The cattle are good overall. They are loving being, the cattle are absolutely loving being on that upper pasture. Like you can see them right here. This was shot from last week. They're just out there doing their thing. They've got so much grass. Like things are going great for them. They're having peak time. Oh, Josh, yes, please. Oh golly, Josh. Can you drop if you can drop the thing in the chat, and maybe Danny, if you can copy it and share it. Oh shoot, you probably can't post. Josh, I'm gonna make you. Can I just make you a moderator? Hang on. But yes, we do have a Discord. I apologize. I'm probably doing a terrible job trying to plug it. But yeah. Oh, speaking of plugs, if you guys want to get a sticker up on the Weird Chicken House, just send us a sticker. And I actually just put up a bunch of them today, and I'll keep putting more on. It was actually kind of fun this morning doing that. And if you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, and you send it to Goldshaw Farm at P.O. Box 225, Peacham, Vermont 05862, I'll send you a free sticker. Just know, if you don't send a self-addressed stamped envelope, I won't like put an envelope on and write your address and put I just can't do it because we get so many. It's impossible for me to keep up. I apologize. I feel like that sounds so rude and like arrogant, but it's not meant to be. It's just a reality of me trying to keep up with everything. I can't fill every sticker request if you don't include your envelope. And so, again, these are just me and Allison stuffing these envelopes. There's not like a crew of people doing it. It's just us doing it. And so if you don't include the envelope that has your address as well as a stamp, you won't get a sticker. Just know that, because I have had a handful that come in. I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this. Sorry, guys. So just know that. All right, hold on. I'm scanning really quickly. We're going really quick here. Two reasons why I chose the Maremma. One, because my friend David had a Maremma, and his dog Ford is actually Toby Dog's father, and so it was just like an available litter of puppies that I could get on, and like that was one. Then the second was actually Maremmas are really great with poultry. They're used in Australia for chickens. They're used in Australia for saving penguins even too. And I think that they're really good in that regard. And so that's what actually got me. Those two things together got me on it. You know what, Kara? I've been trying to do my best with the subtitle stuff, and sometimes it works, sometimes it glitches, and I'm glad to hear it's working tonight. I actually tested something out earlier this week with that. I really do want to make my live streams and my videos as accessible to folks as possible. It's just the challenge of, hey, it's just me doing all this too, and so sometimes something doesn't work, and it's tough for me to problem solve the like while I'm doing a live stream, the transcript and subtitle thing. And so I'm glad to hear though it's working tonight. Joyce, I do. I actually just cleaned it off. Like, so it's going to get, so actually you'll see it pop up. Oh, hey, thank you, Susan. I really appreciate that. You'll see that pop up when I'm probably completing the barn, because I'm going to actually hang it in the new barn. But yes, I do have it. Oh, wait, how's Lil Barn Cat doing? Lil Barn Cat she's right here. Say hi, Lil. She's like, stop bothering me. I'm trying to get a nap. But yeah, no, Lil Barn Cat's doing great. She's just right here. Yeah. Okay, besides cats, what's Allison's next favorite farm animal? I would say it's probably a tie between young goslings, like the goslings that we have right downstairs right now. When she just came home and I heard her walk in the house, I could hear her talking to the goslings we have in the mudroom. So that's one. And then two, I think the pigs. Like, Allison loves the pigs. She even has her own special names for them. She didn't like the names I gave them. And so she loves the pigs. And so those are her other favorite animals. What's my favorite sport? I don't know. It's probably between hockey and baseball. Yeah. Okay, this guy's getting blocked. Yeah, I'm sorry. For the folks on Facebook, there's like these scammers who are always like, "Hey, I really like you. I want to get to know you more." Those are scammers. Just block them, please. What's my plan for the attic of the barn? So you mean the second floor? So the second floor of the barn is going to be storage, and then there's going to be a room that I build where we actually do all of our hatching for next year. And so that's the plan for that second upper level. The lower level is going to be for like vehicles and tractors and that sort of thing. I don't know. Somebody asked about 800,000 too. I don't know. I'm so bad at coming up with that stuff. I'm so on the treadmill of just running the farm and making the videos. I struggle to step back and think about like how to do it. Yeah, Josh. All right, hold on a sec. I'm trying to find a link. I can't find it. I'm sorry, Josh. I should have come prepared. But no, thank you for reminding me, Josh. This sweater is awesome. I love this sweater. This is like my happy sweater. Yeah, this is super comfortable. It's like rag wool. Yeah, it's like when I'm in the house, I like to wear. I don't even wear it outside because I don't want it to get dirty because I like it so much. Yeah, it is like my favorite sweater. All right, I can tell this is starting to go. I'm getting tired. I really do want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out tonight. If you want information about the book, be sure to click the link down below to sign up for our email list. That's where you're going to get the latest and greatest information on all the things happening related to the farm. Also, stay tuned. Probably the next. Oh, we're running contests right now on Instagram. If you want to, we're doing like a caption contest for various illustrations about the farm in the farm book. And so if you come up with the winning caption for the week, you win a free copy of the book. We already just gave out the first free copy this week. And so that's going on, and check that out. And I'll be back on YouTube tomorrow with another new video. This one is it's got some emotions to it, but I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope everybody has a great night. Thanks for watching, and I'll